Hey everyone. First of all, sorry our episode's a day late, but you know what? Deal with it. You're an adult.
It's a day late, but it's not going to be $1 short.
Hey. Happy to be back here. In this week 3 of isolation. Um, yeah. So, I don't know. Quick update on that. How am I doing? That's a good question, Sarah.
Wait, I thought we were going to say the name of the podcast.
Oh, welcome to Craig's Essential Crisis. And if you don't know by now, how'd you do this? How did you get into this podcast without knowing the name of it? That's pretty tricky. That's a pretty weird thing. I'm Colin Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson, and we're obviously losing it.
We're so happy to see you. Oh my God, other people, we're so happy to talk to someone else other than myself and Mishka.
In the mirror.
Well, how's it been going? Let's see. I gave myself a bad haircut, but
nice.
It got corrected today, so it's all better. I shaved
Wait, you gave yourself another bad haircut? I thought you learned your lesson from the first time.
Well, okay. So I did trim my hair completely all the way around, so I had a real short cut everywhere. And it was getting long enough to the point where it just, was getting wings on the side, and it's like, I don't like that at all. I have to trim the sides.
I don't know what that's like. I've never had that short of hair, but I like the idea of having wings.
Oh, man. I forgot you weren't actually bald when you went as Sexy Shrek to Halloween.
I wish.
You could be. You could pull it off. And I know we had this discussion. But, yeah, I just I feel for the people who have no idea how to cut their own hair, because I've been at least attempting it for a year. And just kind of, what I realized is I can't really give myself the fade I want with the tools I have. So, got a little messy there.
You gotta love the ones you're with, not the fade that you can't have with the tools
this
you've
is
got.
A stretch.
I'm sorry.
You're okay. It's fine. Let's see. The Trader Joe's line in front of our place has gotten bonkers. Although yesterday there was no line at all because Trader Joe's was closed because it got broken into, apparently.
Raiders. We've officially gotten to the raiding part of the apocalypse. That's exciting.
It's exciting, if not horrifying. But yeah, I mean, it was open today, so seems like they're okay. But wild.
All's well that ends well, I guess.
I don't know. What else? Updates from your side of the screen?
Yeah, it's been, I feel like week 3 really, kind of hit a wall. I was chilling. I was doing great. And then all of a sudden I wasn't doing great and I was sad all of the time. And, but one thing that really helped out and brightened my day is yesterday I opened the door to get a little bit of fresh air after I'd done a little workout. I'm going to plug Dance Church here. It's a really cool, streamed live dance workout. It's super fun. It's just a chance to dance during the week, which I miss dancing a lot. I love to dance. So, I just finished with Dance Church and I went out to get a little bit of fresh air and there was a huge paper bag on my doorstep and I said, uh-oh, that looks like a Grubhub bag. And so I texted my roommate and said, hey, did you accidentally order food to our house? Because she was at her boyfriend's place. And she was like, I absolutely did not. And I was like, oh. And there was no receipt in the bag. There was no delivery driver anywhere. And I went and knocked on my neighbor's door and they didn't answer. And I don't have any other neighbors because all the units are empty. And so I just sat with it very guiltily for an hour. And then after an hour, I was like, has that been an appropriate amount of time to wait?
Yeah.
And I ate it.
What was it? Was it good?
Yeah, it was Thai food. There was it was Thai Indian. There was some curries and there was some rangoons, some cream cheese rangoons.
Oh my God.
And I sad ate a bunch of appetizers and I was like, thank you, whoever accidentally ordered this to my address. This made me feel a little bit better.
That sounds great. It sounds like the opposite of an experience that Elena and I had this weekend, where she had ordered some clothes and checked the FedEx tracking number to see that it had apparently been delivered 3 days ago and signed for by someone with a totally different name than mine or Elena's. And It also said that it had been delivered to the main entrance, which is a thing our apartment does not have.
Fun.
Yeah, so then we tried to call FedEx about it, and we were on hold for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, they're not answering phones.
They're
no.
Someone did answer at the hour mark and then had to transfer us to someone else, and then we waited another hour, and it was like, nearly 6 p.m. and then we gave up. So that was fun.
Was it rude of me to say that story was almost as exciting as waiting on hold with UPS for 2 hours?
Yeah, that is rude.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I just was really hoping
you know what?
for
There's
a
nothing.
nice
There's
conclusion.
literally nothing going on right now. I don't have any stories. My Instagram has been a blank page, and I was like, I have no pictures to post because nothing is happening.
I do feel like I have gotten to the point of boredom where, like, I am saving chores for myself as though they're a tasty little treat.
Oh my God.
Like, I've been like, ooh, I should do laundry. And then I'm like, no, Sarah, keep it for later. Like, when you really want something to do, and, like, treat yourself to doing a little bit of laundry or washing some dishes.
Yeah. I've gotten really busy at work also. I've suddenly become a very, very essential employee because my whole work thing has basically moved online, and it's become a lot.
That is your thing, right?
It's my thing.
Your
My
expertise
is in the social media and the video editing, and that is exclusively what we're doing right now. So,
woo!
After this, I got 2 more videos to put out there. One involving me again, as I mentioned pre-show, whipping and nay-naying. So that will be fun.
Is it a time capsule back to 2015?
There's been a dance a day challenge thing that we were doing this week, 5-day challenge. So I saw that tomorrow's slot was supposed to feature the whip and the nay-nay, and no one had signed up for it yet. And as our company's sole person of color employee, nearly so anyway, but of the people who are involved in this, I just felt like it should be me. I just wanted to spare the world.
Oh.
Which is like, it's not really a dance I knew off the top of my head, but easy enough to do. So.
You had to, that was a real self-sacrifice, Talon. You really, really threw yourself on the sword with that one. So.
I did. And you'll get to see the fruits of my labor tomorrow, if you know where to look.
I love fruits.
Good. Yeah, so definitely losing track of time a little bit. There's been things like, I'm pretty sure I checked the mail today, but I keep thinking it might have been yesterday. And I'm probably going to end up checking the mail again, even though I swear it was today. But
You might as well. I mean, you don't have much else to do other than walk out to the mailbox, right?
Nothing else. What else? What else is going on?
Well, I've taken up coloring.
That's great. You're doing some good. It's good. You have the patience for, like, fill in the blank, color it within the lines, like coloring books, and I feel like I don't.
I absolutely do. I think it's like, I'm not here to diagnose myself or anything, but I do think I have a little bit of some sort of attention problem. So if you can give me something that has, like, really clear-cut, like, I don't know, like, really clear-cut boundaries and is a little bit mindless, it like skyrockets my ability to focus.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just been, like, blowing through podcasts because I usually can only listen to, like, one at a time while I'm, like, cooking or something because I have to be doing something else with my body, but nothing, like, too demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm really bad at, like, focusing on auditory stuff. Yeah, that's why I came into the podcasting business. And I found that, like, coloring helps me just, like, blast through podcasts, and I'll plug a couple of the ones I've been listening to at the end of the episode, and we'll kind of maybe pitch some. This was your idea, and I'm stealing it like it was my idea, but
you are. Go on.
This is capital T, a Talon, capital I idea. This is a Talon idea, TM. TI, we'll pitch a couple of things at the end of the podcast that we've been listening to entertain ourselves. So if you want to stick around for the end of the podcast, we'll talk a little bit about what we've been entertaining ourselves with and plug some other media.
Absolutely, we will. Yeah, I got a coloring book here that is a lot of. I think it's a Harry Potter one, but it's a lot of scenery. It's a.
I think I have the same one as you.
It might as well be just forests. And it's like, I don't know. I think I'd be better at it if I just didn't try and make it so realistic looking, because you got to use all the crayons in the box, or all the color pencils. But when you have a forest set up, my instinct is to be like, I guess I need brown and blue and green, and that's it. And oops, I'm halfway through this page, and those things are dead now. And it doesn't look good at all because I was just trying to do this to relax, but now it's like a thing. Now it's a very full focus activity.
You've got to use all 96 colors in the box. That's the real goal of any coloring book, is to touch at least each of the 96 colors at one point or another.
It's got to be a hard job to figure out how, when you're designing a coloring book, how to get white in there,
Hey, white ain't always right. You don't need white, You don't need it.
Oof. Boycott Crayola.
Boycott.
Doesn't the color white have enough?
I will say there's something like really delicious about black crayons. I love writing in black crayon, and I think it was implanted in my brain by watching a bunch of Blue's Clues as a child. Because is it not just me, or did that look like the smoothest writing utensil of all time?
Because I made a Blue's Clues sketch back in the day, I have the Nickelodeon license, or had the Nickelodeon license, Steve's notebook. I said Joe. I should die. I'm so sorry.
You should die.
I am so sorry.
You should die.
But,
you're right.
I had the handy dandy notebook, and it came with a giant. It's actually a dark green crayon. And yeah, it was pretty great. It was a thrill.
Is
this story not boring enough? Or is it?
No, this is scintillating, especially because the new Blue's Clues host is an absolute thirst trap.
A snack.
He is juicy, he is loosey, he is goosey. He's looking good.
There are housewives out there who are just, son, don't you want to watch Blue's Clues this morning? I mean, don't you love, that's your favorite show, right? And they're like, Mom, I'm 9 now. I'm a little too old for Blue's Clues. And Mom's like, you know what? We're just going to put it on and see how you feel. We're going to watch Blue's Clues. Okay? As a mother and son, we're going to watch this. And if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. You can leave.
I really liked, it took you a long time to decide how old was too old for Blue's Clues. I really heard that pause in your voice.
Here's the thing. I was probably older than the recommended age. That's because I had a little sister. So I don't know.
I'm not here to judge you if you watched Blue's Clues way too long because you had a big old crush on Steve.
Definitely more of a Mrs. Pepper fan.
Let's start the show.
Okay.
You caught my eye in the grocery line, and I fancied myself a man worth your time. And I couldn't help thinking I wished you were mine. A man-seeking woman whose total is 589. Well, I don't do this often. I'm not like other guys, which is why I find myself in a sort of existential crisis.
Welcome to Existential Crisis, a deep dive through the misconnection section of America's favorite list and a deeper dive into ourselves. Quarantine edition, week 3. Bum bum. If you don't know, misconnections are a section of Craigslist that are like a place for personal ads about chance encounters that writers didn't get a chance to act on, so they post them here in hopes of connecting. We already said our names, and that's you get one.
You only get it once. Yep, you get it once, and you don't get it ever again. Because if you say our names 3 times, we actually switch bodies.
Yeah, which we say our names enough that we kind of switch bodies every couple weeks. And
but
yeah,
Tullen's body is like a second home to me.
And I don't have the courage to make myself at home in yours.
Coward, as we mentioned.
The other thing that happens is when we find these misconnections, we present them to each other and we cold read each other's selections for the first time in front of you, the listening audience. So,
Burr, it's a little chilly out.
Oh.
Time for some cold reads. Sorry, was that a lame joke? I'm sorry.
It,
It's been so long since I've talked to people.
I don't know how to be funny anymore because I don't have an audience to react to me. Not that I really did before, but you know, I tried
Not
to
that
make
you had an
a joke in a
audience or
Zoom
not-
call, and then it just it's crickets, and I was like, everyone freeze,
Ooh.
everyone freeze, and everyone was like, no, we're here.
Oh boy. I was wondering, did you mean you never have had an audience or you have never been funny?
I'm just saying I don't normally have an audience to prove
Got it,
my
got it.
comedic mettle in front of. Is that phrase okay?
Yeah, no, that works.
Great.
As the resident copywriter, I will say that phrase works.
Great. Cool. Hey, do you want to read some misconnections?
Yeah, how about I send one to you first?
Send it to me.
Okay, well, don't be careful what you frickin' wish for.
Okay.
I'm like a monkey's paw or a genie.
One or the other.
One or the other.
I'll take my pick later. All right, here we go. Met on WOW. We met playing World of Warcraft. I miss you. Wanting to touch you again and see if we still have that spark. Not even sure if you'll see this, but I remember you had the best ass I had seen on a woman.
That took you right out, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it did.
I love that they weren't trying to make anyone's head too big. They were like, you have the best ass I've seen on a woman. Now I'm not going to say
Don't get it twisted.
you have the best ass I've ever seen.
I've seen
but
some pretty good asses on not women, but yours is, for a woman, good.
You know, I never thought women could have good asses, and then I saw yours, and I thought, well, maybe.
You made a believer out of me, ma'am. Men on World of Warcraft, too. I didn't really know that could happen. I guess like any online game it can. But I didn't know.
You never had a Tord Neopets romance or anything?
You know, I did used to play a game called VMK, or Virtual Magic Kingdom. It was a Disney game. It was a digital multiplayer Disneyland theme park. Yes, I see a hand from Sarah.
Did you have to pay for it?
No, it was free.
Okay, because I remember that, but I thought you had to pay for it, so I was never on it. Please continue.
No, it was totally free. I think there was costumes and stuff you could apply to your character that if you wanted, you could potentially, I think,
steal your parents' credit card and go to town.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't remember how the currency worked in that game.
Could you imagine
items.
Could you imagine being a parent in the 2000s and the internet is like a new thing and you see a charge on your credit card and you're like, what the fuck is this? And your child's like, I bought clothing, but it doesn't exist in real life.
Yes. Digital artifacts and whatnot had those.
It's very similar to reparations, or not reparations. What were those things?
What are you?
Indulgences. That was the word.
Indulgences?
Yeah, like the ye olde Catholic Church. Not everyone went to Catholic school, obviously.
I guess not.
Like the old Catholic Church, they used to be like, if you pay us enough money, we'll get God to forgive you so that you can go to heaven. That was a thing that was built into the religion.
True. I'm gonna.
So it's
remember
pay
this.
money for a make believe thing.
I'm gonna remember this is the episode where Sarah compared reparations to a digital hat that you can put on a Fortnite character.
Please, no. Let this not be my legacy.
But anyway, I did play this game, and I did make friends on it, and that was a conversation that continued outside of the game, and I'm trying to remember how it happened. I remember there was these chat servers that there was one for this game, and I think I don't remember, because I don't think you had the freedom to say anything you wanted in this game. I mean, it had Disney censorship all over it. But anyway, at some point there was a connection that was made outside of the game, and that led to another Disney game, which was Toontown Online, which was even better.
That one you did have to pay for, didn't you?
That was a paid online game. Yes, I remember having to get my parents to sign me up for it. and my sister. And that was really fun. And where are those friendships now, you ask? Good question. I
Are
think
you sure they weren't Disney agents just trying to convince you to go on Toontown?
just
so you would have to
convincing me
pay
that
for
I
a
had friends that
subscription?
I needed to keep in touch
Yes.
with. Yeah, that would be a good
Yes.
marketing ploy. No, they're real people. I do know, like, two of them were a couple, and I know they had a kid, and they actually, like, live in Oregon, and I think they came to my old work one time, and I think we didn't, like, run into each other, but I had seen that they had been there, and I was just like, that's wild to think that happened.
Sorry, they were adults?
Well, close to my age, and at the time when that whole thing started, they were not.
Okay. Okay, I thought they were a married couple with children
No,
that had befriended an 8-year-old boy on a
nope.
Disney server.
Nope. Not it.
Okay.
Not it.
Okay.
Pass.
Good. Good.
I want to say I was like probably 13 or 14 when that game started being a thing. And years later, we were still semi-connected via the bonds of Facebook. And
Wow.
so, but that was a long con. Like, if I wanted to see their asses, I feel like I would have had to put another 5 years of hard emotional labor into that. So,
But if it was the best ass you'd ever seen on a woman, maybe it would have been worth it.
I mean, yeah, but like, is that a promise you're given early on?
No.
You see, no ass is promised. No ass, but this ass.
Ass and you shall deliver, you know?
Yes.
I did not have Toontown, but I did there was this moment where in middle school my class, like my 8th grade class, like made an online message board, and I don't remember how we did it exactly. It was like a hosting site, and like you could make your own message board on it. And then you would kind of code. I could do like basic HTML stuff, and you could like embed this chat room on your message board. So you'd have like normal message boards, and then you'd have like a chat room at the bottom, so you could almost IM while you were in the message board. Because one type of communication obviously is not enough for 13-year-olds. But I remember in the chat room, there was a way to leave your private chat room and go into like the big bad world of chat rooms. From this chat room that was supposed to be like secure and private, you could like go and just meet anyone on the internet.
Oh boy.
And we used to do that and like see if we could tempt people into private messaging us.
Oh no.
And like it was like from a PSA, like 13-year-old girls
God.
being like, "Oh my god, like I'm just wearing like a shirt. Like what do you want to know what I'm wearing? What?" And like it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeesh. Yeah. So.
But you know what? Who got out of it alive? Me. I'm raising my hand.
Yeah. No, I definitely remember I think this chat room that I speak of also had like, it was a channel in a server of many, but yeah. Hey, early internet is weird.
Early internet was weird, and in some ways, like, I feel like it's gotten a little, like, I feel like you were told so often on the early internet, like, don't give your private information away, like, don't tell anyone your real name, don't tell anyone your real address, and I feel like so much of that has fallen away now because you can find it anyways, that, like, in some ways it feels like both simultaneously the internet is safer and more dangerous than it ever was when we were children, but it just, like, felt scarier as a child. I don't know.
It's still pretty unsafe if you are not smart, and I think that's the difference. I feel like there should be a bigger push for media literacy and internet literacy, because
Elect Talon Bigelow for school council.
Hi, I'm Talon Bigelow, and I'm running for your school counselor. I may not go to your school, but I know how it should work. I've been in several schools in my lifetime. And with the knowledge I have now, I am confident. What's that? I'm ineligible for this position? I can't be here unless I have a child here? That's fair.
That's how it would pretty much go. So I'm glad that you decided to withdraw gracefully.
I decided to focus on my family, and I did not see a path to the nomination, so I decided to drop out of the race, and I will be giving all my support to your junior candidate, little Joey Gibson. I think he could really make a difference, and I really support his platform of more than one pudding cup per lunch. I think that's fair.
Wow. That's really big of you. I'm glad that you could realize you were losing a race and then endorse somebody who could actually win and shares your platform. Anyways, we're gonna move on. I think that I like the idea of people meeting on a World of Warcraft and then turning to misconnections to like refine that person. I really like that idea that like they know that like their secret meeting spot is just the internet.
Yeah.
Like it's not a private place in the real world. They will always find each other again on the internet.
You know, it is a small world, and the internet helps make it smaller. And I don't really know what I'm saying here.
People playing World of Warcraft are ass people, apparently.
Who knew? You would think.
Who knew?
Just seeing character designs, you would think they'd all be boob people. But
that's honestly exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
It's like it's very breast centric, and I feel like the asses are not the main player in World of Warcraft.
Maybe it's just caused so much of unrealistic expectations boob wise, but they didn't focus so much on the ass, and so when you see one in the wild, it's like, what? You know?
You're like, wow, all of these flat-assed nymphs are really lowering my expectations for asses in the real world.
Yeah. I guess everyone check out the asses on World of Warcraft sometime. Just compare.
Is that how we reboost the self-esteem of all the people that are fucked up from social media? Is we, instead of editing people to look more attractive online, do we have to edit everyone to look slightly uglier online? Could you imagine if that was the way things had gone? Whoa. How great would life be?
Yeah, so instead of like those beauty filters on Instagram and TikTok and shit, there'd be filters that just make you a little more tired looking.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little more tired looking, or like
it messes up your hair.
Yeah. How it conveys the idea that you have bad breath.
Yeah. This is absolutely the tactic we should be doing. We would all get off our computers, stop talking to strangers on the internet, and start talking to the real beautiful people in the world, because they are the goddesses now. They are the boobs now.
I feel like that's kind of almost the hope for like internet dating, is like you meet somebody in real life and you're like, wow, you look better than your picture.
Has that ever happened, do you think?
No. Well, yes, probably. There's some people, really wonderful people out there who take awful photos. I feel like I know some people that are just so gorgeous in real life and just either don't care, which is great, don't care to take good photos, or just have the bad luck to always have one eye partially closed in every photo.
I think that's me you're referring to, and
I did a whole post on Instagram about how one of my eyes is more closed than the other. There was a whole discourse, and what I learned is that everybody has one of those eyes.
I think so. I think that's absolutely true. You know what I also realize is true, but it never really come face to face with until I got these new blue blocker glasses.
Oh, I have a guess, but I want to know.
It's definitely not one of my ears is higher than the other.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I know that's a common thing.
I was literally going to say that.
But it's just really, it's weird. It makes me mad at God.
It's just like, that's a part of life. You're always going to have one ear lower than the other. But I don't even feel like that's not something anyone's ever going to notice.
I don't notice it until I put glasses on, and I'm like, why are all these glasses broken? And then I realize, oh no, it's me.
Yeah, it's not the glasses that are broken. It's you that's broken.
Yeah.
Irreparably, deeply broken. Oh, back. Boo.
You said it, not me.
Let me just say to you, boo.
That's fair. Hey, want to read another misconnection?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Did you send me one?
Oh, you know I did.
I didn't know. That's why I asked.
Did we mention we were recording remotely? By the way, we're recording remotely again. Okay, yeah, carry on.
As it may seem, we are not in the same room. We are so synchronized. You might think we are, but let me tell you right now, I will assure you, I have not seen Talon Bigelow in person for 3 whole weeks, which is probably the longest I've ever gone without seeing you since we've met.
I think that is absolutely true. Oh,
Oh, that's kind of cute to think about, though. We just...
It'll just be that much better when we're together in person. It's
Aw,
it's like waiting
stop
for your
it.
wedding night. It's
That was the worst analogy you could possibly pick.
It's like, babe, I listen, I just wanted to be really special when we do see each other again, and I think we should just avoid seeing each other for a couple weeks, maybe months.
That just made me so much more. Now I feel like I have to perform next time I see you. I'm so nervous.
There better be a good hug, Sarah. A good hug.
Oh, God. I'm so not ready. I'm just not ready for it.
I'll send you some videos you can watch.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Some instructional videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Carl Schurz Park Women. Hey, I'm a dog walker. I love walking in Carl Schurz Park, looking for a spot in that park where I could smoke weed. Also, looking for women only to hang out while I'm dog walking around 2 and 3 p.m. I'm not interested in men. I mean, they know what they want. Here I am to say, it seems like they know what they want.
It seems like, I don't know what it is. It seems like they maybe are interested in doing more than hanging out with these people.
Do you? I don't think that. Nah. Why would they say that they want to hang out if that's they wanted to do more?
I just want a person to hang out with, just a woman to hang out with. Don't worry, nothing weird, just hanging out. No penises, though, please.
Well, can I be honest? We don't know who the person who wrote this is. And to be honest, I would feel, I know this is probably dumb and wrong and has gotten people kidnapped before, but I would say that I would trust a stranger woman before I would trust a stranger man. So, say this is a woman writing this, yeah, I could believe it would be platonic.
Sure. I wanted to mention, this is also from the Upper East Side of New York, the epicenter of all this shit. People are trying to find people to go dog walking with them. Now?
I get, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
Not that I encourage this. I think it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. But 'tis the season, you know?
What season is that?
The season to spread corona.
Oh, okay. Corona time.
Yeah. It's corona time. But I also like that they were also looking for a place to smoke in private.
Yeah. I love walking in this park. Does anyone know a spot in this park where you can weed up?
Let me weed up. The only time I've ever smoked weed in a park, I was so unbelievably paranoid the entire time I could not enjoy myself.
That's fun.
It wasn't. This was back before I knew what strains I like to smoke, and it was with some friends of mine, but also some strangers that I didn't know, and it was like in a very dark park, and I could not see anything, and I was very stressed, and it was also on my college campus, so I was like, oh god, if I get caught, there's like repercussions that way, and it was just like, it was the perfect anxiety storm.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, yikes is right.
You should have had a chance to go on Misconnections and ask about that park specifically and see if anyone could find you a good place to smoke weed there.
Well, actually, we were in the good place to smoke weed. There was like this weird bush, and the center of it was hollow. It was like huge, and the center of it was hollow, and you could crawl in through this weird little tunnel, and there was like a desk inside of the bush, and like places to sit. Yeah, it was very. It was like a huge a huge desk. No, a huge bush, and you could like fit a bunch of people inside of it, and it was theoretically hidden. But tell that to my high brain. She wasn't believing a word of it.
Okay. I think what we should do right now is take a moment to just dream up the best possible location in a park to smoke weed. So, what is
I would say a secret hidden bush hole would probably be a pretty good place.
I think we can do better. Like, that's pretty good. But, like, I think you need, like, okay, so picture like an oak tree. Like a pretty big tree in the middle of this park. Not even the middle. The edge of the park. The
Okay.
upper east edge of the park, okay? And it's just a seemingly normal looking tree. It's far away from like the playground or like the doggy area trash cans. It's kind of isolated for one. So already going to be a quieter spot. Maybe there'll be some picnickers up there, whatever. But if you know how to get into this tree, maybe there's a branch you pull on or something. Part of the
With
trunk.
an elevator in it?
Yeah, sure, okay. So part of the trunk actually is you push it open like a secret door. And then when you're in that door, because you'd be like, well, I'm standing in a tree, that's not a lot of space. Turns out, actually, you go down, there's like stairs that descend underground, under this tree.
So I wasn't aware that we were allowed to just do away with the rules of logic, so I'm going to go ahead and say that I would like to smoke weed in a room filled with gold that I can take home.
That's
and
pretty
$1 million
good.
bills.
How do you keep that secret, though, is my question.
Well, I don't know. I could put it in your secret tree hole.
I mean, I really didn't intend on collaborating with you on this in that way, but, like, fine, okay, you can put your gold in my secret tree hole, and we will invite select friends, and I think there should be a limit, like goodie bags of gold, you know, everyone gets the same amount, no one gets greedy. So.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Good, we figured it out.
We figured it out. Whoever gets the first mill, when we get the first mill from this podcast, we're gonna build a tree for it, but only some of our favorite fans will be invited.
Where do you think we should put it? Like, where?
Up your butt.
I think we should stumble back into the logic of real world building things. 'Cause
okay.
that won't work, I don't think. I mean, I can't, for one, I wouldn't be able to enjoy my own secret weed tree. So.
Oh, I feel like you've had your own head stuck up your butt before. I'm sorry. I've been so mean to you this episode. I'll stop.
walked right
I'm so
into
sorry.
that one.
You really did, though. Like, you were asking me to say that.
You know what?
With your eyes.
It's going to be now like a 10-second hug at least to make up for it when we see each other again.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Is that what happens? Every time I'm mean to you, the hug just gets longer?
Yep. You're at 10 now.
Well,
Let's see.
you know
what
I
this
hate a
gets you.
long hug.
That's exactly why I'm doing it.
Okay, so I got one to send to you.
Oh, please.
But I do have a special reading request for it. I'd like you try as best as you can not to read the body of it. I'd like you to just read the title and then tell me, give me like a sample of what you think it's going to say. Like read the title, give it a pause, say, and this is what I think it's going to say, and then give me a short, written in the style of what you think the message is going to be.
Okay. So the title is Buddy F Need M and Satisfied Me. Buddy F. So F for female, obviously. M for male. So Buddy female need male and satisfied me. I'm going to take a swing and say satisfied is a typo. And this is not happening in the past tense. So this is a Buddy F needs. So this is a female that is in need of a man, and needs to be satisfied. I feel like that's the obvious answer, but that's what I would expect.
Satisfied in what way?
Oh, sexually, obviously.
Okay.
Okay. Buddy.
And then I'd like you to continue reading the misconnection. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Buddy F need M and satisfied me. Portland. I'm looking for someone who would be interested in running together a couple times a week. I'm female, 40, 150. I usually run 3 to 5 miles, and I also walk usually evenings after work. I'm not a fast runner, 9 or 10 minute miles. Run for exercise and enjoyment. I like to run different places around town. Email if interested, and we can chat more. Thanks.
Is that where you thought that was going? I think I got a crick in my neck for how fast that whipped around on me.
You know what? I not where I thought it was gonna go. No, you would think at least there'd be. I don't know what this title has to do with anything in this.
I've got a couple of running theories about this because I've had an afternoon to think about it. So I'm going to let you think about your theories as I explain mine. So I've got a couple of theories. Theory number one is that this person is a misconnection frequent flyer. They accidentally mixed up the title of this one with the body of something else that they were going to write. So they were both horny for sex and for running, and they just swapped titles. So out there somewhere there is like, hey, looking for running partner, and then in the body of it, it's like, I would like you to fill my every hole.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that is scenario number one in my mind. Scenario number two is that they they are too subtle. This is a sexual body post. Like the body of the post is supposed to be sexual, but they were too subtle. Like it's so subtle that nobody will ever decipher that they actually don't just want a running partner. Gotcha. Or scenario three is just that they were unbelievably horny when they were writing the title and then just had to switch gears midway through.
Here's my theory. This person just wanted to brag. Like, I'm 40 years old, 150 pounds, and I run a 9-minute mile. Like...
And then they were like, that's not even impressive, though.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not fast. Just 9 minutes. Just 1 minute short of what people used to think the record of human speed was. No big deal.
Do you think this is Usain Bolt?
I don't think it is Usain Bolt, but I definitely think they want to bang Usain Bolt.
Do you think is Usain Bolt married?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I would, what? Just from an athlete perspective, I just think...
Yes.
Love...
Athlete to athlete. Yes,
athlete to athlete. I'm going to say this person, Usain Bolt, has stayed celibate to increase their speed as fast as they are. I don't think they look at other people in a desirable way at all. I think they have lost that part of them. Much like you might shed a coat to run faster, or jacket, or you might take off your shirt and leave it behind in the woods. This person shed sexual attachment to other human beings.
So they also reabsorb and metabolize their own sperm in order to run.
Yeah. They've learned to all their bodily fluids are now energy.
Yeah, nothing is wasted or expelled from the body. Everything is turned back into fuel. To fuel the body.
Yep. So I think this person is the same. They can no longer get they cannot achieve sexual satisfaction. There's only the running.
Only the running.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's a fair thing. They've just subverted all of their sexual energy into running.
Yeah.
I would buy that.
That horniness becomes fuel.
I wouldn't know.
That's like a thing in some sport cultures, right? Like, I feel like wrestlers and shit, they're like people. There are people who exist who are athletes who, leading up to a big match, will avoid, any sort of sexual fulfillment because they think it'll weaken them.
This is nothing I've ever heard before, so I'm really glad you're introducing me to this idea on this podcast.
As far as I know, this is a real thing. And I feel like I've seen it in several sports movies and TV shows. I cannot verify for sure that it is real, but it's like the same thing as like, I don't know, not washing your favorite team's jersey for good luck, right?
Oh, so it's all superstitious. It doesn't have anything to do with like,
I don't know.
You're saving all of your energy. You don't want to pull a hamstring while you're fucking.
There's part of that. I think there are people who think that like it's a primal thing. Like having that urge will only fuel me, and if I get rid of it now, then I won't have that extra momentum that I need.
Okay.
I've not experienced this myself. So I don't know that. I don't know if it's true. I
but like not because I'm a virgin, just because I'm like not an athlete,
Right.
No,
I'm definitely not a virgin. I just like, if I played sports, I would probably still be a virgin.
Super slow because all the sex I have.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's why I'm not an athlete is because of the sex I have all the time. which
Yeah.
weakens me and does not put me in a mental state of a athlete. You know.
Yeah, like much like Usain Bolt does not have sex in order to make his running faster. I don't run in order to make my sex faster.
Yeah, exactly.
But, not faster. I didn't mean fat. No,
Not
I don't
fast,
think
better,
faster is better. I mean like
More
better,
athletic.
like harder,
Yeah.
like the best at sex.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Wait, no, please don't go. Let's try it.
Do you want to just go for a run instead?
I can run a 9-minute mile. It's not bragging. I think that's slow.
But do you have another one for me?
I do have another one for you. And I don't have any sort of requests on the way you read this. I would just like you to...
Was that a subtle dig at me making you read yours?
That's me stalling for the time it takes for this message to get to you.
Oh, got it.
But-
Well, it didn't stall long enough, so embarrassing.
Okay, well, I want you to read this as written.
Okay, just
and
kidding.
nothing
You can
more.
stop. Okay.
And this is also from
Very-
New York.
Oh, sorry. What?
This is another New York one. I decided to see what was happening in, Coronaville, USA. And, yeah, still hopping.
Also, so we're talking on Skype while this is happening, so that we can talk to each other as though we're in the same room. And Talon has his background blurred, and when you just lifted your drink, I think you were holding a pen, but it looks like the pen is blurred out, so it looks like it's either a phallus or like a cigar or something.
It's a miniature dildo.
I love it. I'm glad that Skype is censoring you for me. Okay. So, this one is New York. Very shy, inexperienced Jewish male, 25, wants to make up for lost time. Very shy, very, very inexperienced, single, white, 25-year-olds, Jewish, male, looking to break out of his shell and make up for lost time. I'm looking to meet females. I can travel, but cannot host. I don't care how old you are or what race you are. Just be nice, honest, and not into playing games and wasting my time. You don't have to be a model or have a model's body. I am drug and disease-free and expect the same. If interested, please get back to me. Tell me why you are replying to my ad. Your age, location, what you have in mind, and perhaps how much money you are looking for.
Great. Good
That
read.
was Thank you. I was gonna say that last line. I was like, buddy, it sounds like you want to give some sex workers your money, which you should. It's a world's oldest profession.
Absolutely, you're right. It's not required on this website, I don't think. But it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that kind of got me too. It's like, oh no, sir, you don't need to do that here. Everyone's just looking for a good time here. You don't gotta pay.
Well, but maybe he should. Professionals are professionals for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I guess there's the free couch you find on the street, and I don't like this metaphor anymore. I'm not gonna
You could take home the free couch you found on the street, or you should go to Ashley Home Furniture and Goods and buy
Wouldn't you rather go to a furniture professional?
Yeah, that was a bad metaphor, but I get your point.
It didn't work, but it's funny just the idea of this going to a place where it's just being given away for free. Literally every other post is like, please come do me, just host. And
Well, there's the problem. He can't host.
Can't host. No one should be hosting. Not in this climate, but anyway.
Maybe that's why he's like, I can't host because my roommates don't want to get coronavirus, but if your roommates are cool with it.
Yeah, I don't care if I get it. Literally, this was like when I screenshotted this, it was 5:56. So this was posted about 4 hours ago.
And is it down already? Has it been taken down already?
I doubt it. No, I'm looking at a screenshot. But just the fact that 3 hours ago on today, April 2nd, that it's, people are still trying to meet strangers in New York for sex.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
I read a listicle about just
Tell me more.
ways to have safe sex precautions in today's pandemic.
Like safe sex precautions for like strangers you meet on the street? Because I feel like
no.
it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, bullet point number 1 was only have sex with people who live within your household.
Okay, good. Okay.
Which is absolutely right, but also just phrased funny, where it's like, I'm sure there are people who live in households with people they don't necessarily want to have sex with, nor should
I don't know
they.
what that's like.
So I just
kidding.
Just like, God damn it. Like, listen, I know we're just like roommates or whatever, and we're definitely not interested in each other like this, but like, I gotta have sex, and I'm not allowed to have it with anyone else.
Can you imagine the fan fiction that's gonna come out of this? There is gonna be so much fan fiction where quarantined together is the situation.
I think last week I said there was going to be exactly 3 great pieces of art about this pandemic. One of them was a Broadway play. One of them was going to be a movie, and I couldn't think of a third one. This is it. It is the great fan fiction of characters who normally would never be interested in each other sexually.
Never.
But then an outbreak happens, and they're both horny.
Horny as can be.
What great pairings do you think could come out of that? Where does this pandemic spread to in the fictional universe?
I don't love it. I don't love this. I don't like this.
Dean and Sam from Supernatural are stuck together outside at home.
They're brothers. You can't say that.
Hey, they're brothers, but they're also men, and they just got to get off.
I hate it. I hate it so much. You joke, but there is so much. It's called Wincest. Don't ask me why I know this.
You do know it, though.
I do. Well, I used to be a real Supernatural stan back in the day, and let me tell you, I am rewatching it in quarantine, and boy, howdy, is it a journey. But yeah, it exists. I just don't like to think about it.
What if the actors break the fourth wall and say, "It's okay, we're not really brothers," wink?
They would never. Those are 2 of the most repressed sexually men you've ever met in your life. I'm pretty sure there's a clause in their contracts that they do not have to show themselves shirtless, like, at all, because they literally are never shirtless in the show. Like,
really?
Ever.
That's surprising to me.
You've seen their chests, like, maybe twice? Because they get, like, little titty tattoos, and then...
What?
That's pretty much it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
They do that, though?
Yeah, they do get titty tattoos, but I'm not going to tell you anymore. You're just going to have to watch it for yourself.
How many seasons do I have to watch?
The titty tattoos come in after, like, season, 2, I think.
Okay, because there's, like, what, 15?
There are 15, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeesh. Okay, we'll try this one on for size. The pandemic spreads to Hogwarts, and Professor Snape says to Professor McGonagall, "Well, it looks like we're going to be in here for a while, and frankly, I don't trust any of the students, so I think I'll stay in your office, if that's all right. Say,
oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
do you mind if I just whip it out?"
I'm gonna have to go ahead and, as my feedback on your fan fiction, say that's really out of character. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say whip it out.
Okay,
so.
do you mind if I practice divination with my wand? And then Professor McGonagall takes it suggestively, not understanding that he's actually talking about doing magic and thinking that he's talking about his dick.
Oh, except McGonagall wouldn't. McGonagall would never. She
Excuse me, McGonagall is a freak who is desperate to show off.
Okay. Wow. That was really strong. You have some feelings about McGonagall. Now I'm going to write Talon and McGonagall trapped in Hogwarts.
Yes, please.
Because obviously you have some repressed feelings about her.
Just Maggie Smith in general.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it. That's fine.
If I watched more Downton Abbey, you could do that too. That'd be fine.
I just feel like this 25-year-old Jewish boy, he's like, thinks the world is gonna end, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking die a virgin. I have to get laid right now. And like, this is the beginning of the end. Like, this is his equivalent of raiding Trader Joe's. He's like, balls to the wall, gotta, YOLO, here we go. Yep.
You know what? That's a fair assessment of the situation, because
Thank you.
No, I just it's true. I do think if if that were how I was feeling, if that was like, if we were already at end of the world mode, I think it's fair to just do whatever makes you happy. I've been scolding these people, but you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe they are just trying to find someone on their way out, and I should
God
be more
bless.
respectful, you know? YOLO.
As my friend Rosie said, I talked to her earlier this week, and we were talking about the Tinder situation during quarantine because out of curiosity, I downloaded it just to see what was happening. The alarming and sad news is that it is very much the same as it has ever been. But as Rosie was saying, it's only a matter of time before people start saying they're ready to risk it all just to get it in, you know?
Yeah, nope, definitely only a matter of time. And listeners, if you find any of those misconnections or even Tinder profile bios, we'll read them. Just send them our way.
Speaking of sending things, I've sent one over to you that I would like to say is a breath of fresh air.
Okay, here we go. I hope none of you are planning on meeting up anytime soon. Everywhere is the location. I mean, y'all have hands. Keep them to yourself for a few more months. You'll survive. Great work.
God, who let mom onto misconnections?
Mom
Oh.
is right. You know, it's funny because all these safe sex listicles, I've read two. Just I think out of
Why have you read so many?
just out of curiosity, I just was like, what are people saying about how to do this? Because I literally was thinking it was going to be talking about like how to do it with strangers in this situation. It was going to be like, wear a hazmat suit and don't do any face-to-face positions because that would be bad. So doggy style only. Like, I don't know. I was very disappointed for them all to say, just do it with people you live with.
And that was the entirety. Was it a one?
No, there was like 5 bullet points.
Number listicle.
That was the number one point they all made sure to make. Like, first off, if you don't live with them, they're off limits for right now.
Were the other ones like were they all emotional based? Were they like prepare for the kickback of having sex with the people you are now stuck in a house with?
You're going to ruin your family because you have committed what is a crime in most states.
Ew, Talon! Why?
I do it for the lulz.
Why?
But most of them do say, a little masturbation never hurt anybody, basically. It was like, hey, you know what? Your best sex partner in these trying times is yourself. And
wow, everybody. That's a really sweet message. Like, really get to know yourself in this time.
Sure.
Really get in touch with you, yourself, and you know?
I wouldn't describe us as a sex podcast. We're definitely like a sexy podcast sometimes. Depending, but
I think just for quarantine, we're going to become a sex advice podcast.
Okay, I'll just update our information in the Apple Podcast app. But yeah, honestly, just don't risk it. You know, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. I'm just confused. I'm just here to say that on Instagram, I follow Planned Parenthood on Instagram, and one of the questions they answered this week in a big old graphic splashed across my Instagram feed was, is COVID-19 a STD? And their resounding answer was, no, it's not. Uh-huh. So my question is, if you're already living with someone, why can't you just have willy-nilly sex with them? Like, what did the rest of the listicle say?
If you're already living with someone you would actually want to have sex with?
Sure, yeah.
I think at that point it was like, is it someone, like, if it was like one of those, what are those charts called where you start on one option and then you did like, you know,
like a tree, like a tree,
like a branching,
yes,
possibility chart. Like,
I'm glad that we just moved from having sex, which is arguably the most sexy thing, to
different kinds
charts,
of informational
which
graphics.
is the
yes,
the least sexy thing I could think of.
Says you.
Sorry.
There's some sexy infographics out there. Let me tell you what. Ask NPR. Yeah, so like if the first box is like, do you live with this person? And it's a yes, then it just takes you all the way down to go for it. Do whatever you want.
Oh.
Wash your hands.
Okay.
Do all the normal safe sex stuff you would normally do. And other than that, have a blast on us. Let us know about it later. Your friends at NPR.
What?
And then the other side of that is if is it someone you live with and it says no, then it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You're still gonna try this? Don't. Just don't. Like, if you have to, actually,
Okay.
you don't have to, don't. Masturbate.
So it was a 2-point listicle.
It's a listicle that didn't need to be made, let alone made several times over.
Got it. Okay. Just wanted some clarification on the listicle.
It was specifically for people who are on misconnections being like, I want to have sex with a stranger, but should I?
And this poster answers resoundingly, absolutely not. Do not do that.
Do not do that. But like I said last week, if people weren't trying, we would have no content for this podcast at the moment. So
Yeah. So thank you to the dreamers, to the aspirationalists, to those who go against the grain.
here's
who say that they
to the
can
crazy
do-
ones who try to have sex during a pandemic.
That's for you, baby.
Yeah. Well, should we kind of wrap this up? I mean, we'll end with...
I think it's
wrap this
about time. We'll end with one last solid misconnection and some recommendations for when you're done listening to all 37
Yeah.
37 episodes of our podcast, what you should listen
Wait.
to after you're done with ours.
No, sorry. This is like episode
38?
44. What are we talking about?
What am I talking about? I just blacked some of them out. Sorry.
There's definitely a couple of them that should not be listened to, and we'll leave it to you, the listener, to remember which ones those are.
I said reparations and then immediately blacked out for the rest of this episode. So.
You did say that. Anyway, we are going to have some more goodies right at the tail end of this outro. But thank you so much for listening to Existential Crisis. It means a lot to us. It really does. If you like what you hear, do consider leaving a rating and review in the Apple Podcast app or on our Facebook page or wherever you see us that has an option to rate us. It helps other people find us, recommend us to a friend, especially now when the need for content is really great. Tell someone about us. If you enjoy us, if you genuinely enjoy what you're hearing and you know people in your life who would also enjoy it and aren't listening to it yet, be that person to show them. I have so many great things that I have been shown by other people, and I'm so glad that they showed me because I might not have found it otherwise. So you could do that for somebody. Your favorite thing might not be us, but imagine what your favorite thing is, and especially a favorite thing that someone else showed you, and like you could do that for someone else, and you don't even know. So what are you waiting for? Yeah. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and our Facebook page for fun bonus content that not, some of it's going to be visual. So this medium, it won't work. It can't happen. I'm going a little loosey-goosey
You're
with
really
this
killing
outro.
it on the outro today. I just gotta say.
I thank you so much. We want to thank the incredible Rosie Sherman for writing and performing our theme song every week. Check her out at Hey Shermy on Instagram.
She does something really cool. On Sunday mornings, she started doing a drawing series with a fellow artist friend of hers. They do a live Instagram show. It's really wonderful. It's super uplifting. They take prompts from the audience and draw them live, and they do really fun cartoons. It's a delight to listen to, so check it out at Hey Shermy, HeyShermie on Instagram. Sunday mornings, it's been so fun. I watched it this Sunday, and it really brightened up my day.
Yeah, I checked that out a little bit too, and then definitely super enjoyable. So check that out. If you, the listener, has a misconnection story of your own, or you want to send us a personal ad to share with the world, or if you're just browsing the internet and see something that could be of interest to us for any reason, send it to us at craigcrypod@gmail.com. That's CRAIGCRIPod@gmail.com. Or you can send it to any of our social media spots that I have mentioned before, where our next episode is going to be out in a week. I mean, technically it might be 7 days. We're trying to get them out on Thursdays. This one's a little bit late. So our next episode is going to come out in 6 days. Sarah,
Woo!
do you have any recommendations for the things that have been keeping you entertained?
Yeah, I'll parse them out. We should probably just do one
Yeah.
because we have an episode next week.
Absolutely.
So the one thing that I will plug that I've really been enjoying is a podcast called The Left Right Game. It's a scripted podcast. It stars Tessa Thompson, who I love and adore
Love her.
deeply and greatly. And it's a really fun kind of urban legend podcast. It has 2 episodes out. They come out on Mondays, so I'm eagerly awaiting it. I just started it, and I have been so enraptured. The writing's fantastic. I think the acting's really well done. Something I have a problem with a lot of scripted podcasts is I have such a small tolerance for hamminess that the minute there's a moment of hamminess, I have to check out. And this is not hammy. This is super well acted, really well done.
Great rec. Cool. Of all the things to recommend, I think I'm going to recommend, as it was recommended to me, and it took me way too long to get into it, but the television program known as Schitt's Creek. 5 seasons of it available on Netflix, and the final season currently airing. It's about to go off the air next week. Is the last episode, I believe, Tuesday. So yeah, Elena and I bought season 6 on Amazon Prime because it was worth it to do. This was a show that, for me personally, like, several people were recommending that I watch it, and I just have a hard time committing to a comedy program. I'll get into a drama a little more easier because the plot hooks me in a little bit more than your average half-hour comedy can.
Totally.
But Schitt's Creek really is, like, a very special show. Like, yeah, it's hilarious, for one. I mean, you have amazing performances from Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy, and it was created by Eugene and his son Dan Levy, who is also hilarious on the show. There's a couple other Levys on this show. It's a bit incestuous, really, but it's, in addition to being incredibly hilarious, like, it's written like good improv where the comedy is just all interpersonal. It's not like trying too hard to be funny. It's just these characters interacting just inspire laughter. But there's also really genuine moments in this show. A lot of heart. A lot more than you would find in a typical great American comedy, because it is a Canadian program, and it's not saccharine. It's very much just genuine and heartwarming, and has led to me being really emotionally invested in the show. I only started like a month ago, and now I'm really sad that it's ending. But it's a great show to get through a time like this. So if you haven't yet, or if you've been pitched to about it and you haven't given it a chance yet, now's the time. Now's a great time to do it. It's also about a family who's stuck in this, place that they don't want to be in for a long time. So relevant.
# quarantine feels.
Yeah, definitely. But I'll be watching the finale when that airs. Right. Sarah, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, I'm going to take you out with
Take me out, please.
big ol' hammer.
Oh, okay. A little bit violent.
Sorry, that was a little intense. I apologize. I'm very sorry about how violent that was. Okay, so I am sending you over the last one of the day. Go ahead and take it away.
While it is coming to me, I will say, as I did plug it at the end of the last episode, but if you haven't listened to our appearance on Supod Heroes yet,
yes,
definitely check it out. It was a really fun episode to record. And we do plan on having Alex and Jack on our show at some point. Even if it's during quarantine, that is fine. I'm really sad we didn't get to have our meet date.
For those of you who weren't in the know, that's not a weird sex thing. We were going to go to Fogo de Chao together and see how much meat we could put away, because we really talked a big game while we were amping up for the show. But yeah, I listened to that whole episode and just found myself grinning like an idiot, and I just was so delighted by them and their format and their energy.
Well, listen to their whole show, but if you haven't listened to anything yet, start with our episode. It's the Hancock episode. We talk about the movie Hancock. Anyway, here we go. The closing misconnection. Quarantine snacks, Southeast Portland. You're binge watching the next season in 10 minutes. But first, refill that drink. Get yourself a pudding cup. Some fruit by the foot. Sit down. Blankets arranged. Toasty warm. Hit play. Start with the pudding cup. Damn, forgot a spoon. That's okay. You can use your tongue. Hit me up, winky face. I'm Tom Bigelow.
I'm Sarah Thompson.
And this has been Craig's Essential
Crisis.
I want to say so much more about this.
You can't.
I can't. Those are the rules. These are the rules. Oh my god. That's going to drive me crazy for a week. Great. Good.
Okay, pudding cup.
Okay.